Liam Ramos is a 5-year-old boy taken by ICE in Minnesota as he was walking home from school along with his father. ICE agents followed this 5-year-old boy and his father until they reached their home. His father, Alexander Conejo Arias, ran into the house, leaving Liam inside the vehicle, which means Liam was not left behind, nor was he abandoned, as ICE agents are trying to say. Now, here's the issue. Here I have a clip from an ICE agent called Marcos Charles.
Stayed behind with that child while other officers apprehended his father. After conducting the arrest, my officers stayed with the child. They cared for him, took him to get something to eat from a drive-through restaurant, and spent hours ensuring he was taken care of. Again, my officers did that, not his father.
Of course, the officer had to take care of Liam because you are chasing his father. His father's afraid. He is afraid of being taken by ICE. So he runs away into his home where his vehicle is parked with Liam inside. So Liam was never in any danger. ICE agents never rescue Liam as they intend to picture the situation here.
My officers did everything they could to reunite him with his family. Tragically, when we approached the door of his residence, the people inside refused to take him in and open the door.
From what I can understand, ICE agents took Liam as bait so that Liam can knock on the door, so that Liam's family opened the doors and they could take Liam's father's, which is illegal in every possible way you can imagine. Let's continue to listen.
Let me say it again. They saw the young boy and they refused to open the door and take him back.
They did not refuse. That is not true.
This is the human side of the job that my officers do. They are family men and women. They have children of their own. They sacrifice everything for their families. I know for a fact that they were heartbroken to see the child's own family leave him behind.
Here is an ICE agent trying to dominate the conversation, the narrative, by picturing ICE as humans who cared about Liam, who cared about family. We know it is not true. That is a flat out lie. That's just not true. They caused that situation. They created the issue. So now come on, seriously? ICE agents took advantage of the situation using Liam as bait. Knock on the door of the house to get his father to open the door so they can apprehend him. Later, during a press conference, Greg Bovino flat out lied again to the press, denying having arrested the 5-year-old boy. Let's take a listen to that one. This one is highly interesting.
Final question. Do you have any moral or ethical qualms about detaining a 5-year-old on his way back from preschool?
Now, this is highly important. The reporter asked him, do you have any moral or ethical qualm in apprehending a 5-year-old boy? Just take a listen to his response.
Be more specific.
Liam Ramos from the Columbia Heights School District. Do you have any moral or ethical qualms about that?
We conduct legal, ethical, and moral law enforcement missions here in Minneapolis. So as far as what you're saying with that particular individual, you'll have to be more specific because I didn't detain a 5-year-old. And
this is highly important. I am going to take this back a little, reverse this playback. And I'd like you to pay attention to Greg Bovino's eyes as he says, flat out lying. He knows that's how you can assure that he is lying. When he says, I have not detained, arrested a 5-year-old boy. Think about a little. Look at it. If Greg Bovino is telling the truth about detaining or not detaining this 5-year-old boy, he wouldn't have needed to look the other way. Let's take a look at this again. Let's let us
A
check.
5-year-old.
Look at that.
And we're going to continue with that law enforcement mission. Oftentimes you will see violent illegal aliens that perhaps do have families. And those violent criminal illegal aliens are going to be arrested. I've got no qualms about making America a safer place.
So that's Greg Bovino. According to reporting from multiple news outlets, Liam Conejo Ramos and his father, Adrian Alexander Conejo Arias, first entered the United States in late 2024, specifically December 9, 2024, to seek asylum. Now, let's take a listen at Liam's lawyer for context on Liam and his father's asylum status.
Liam and his dad did enter the United States at a port of entry to seek asylum through the CBP One app at the Brownsville border crossing. So they did everything right when they came in. They used the app, they made an appointment, they came to the border and presented themselves to Customs and Border Patrol. They've shared all of their information with the government, and they were following the process. They were just trying to secure safety and persecution for their family from their home country. But ICE didn't care about the fact that they had those pending claims and then just arrested them. And again, Zena and Mary can go through the details of that if you have questions about that. My big concern here is that, you know, the fear that was generated, the terrorizing of the children and the community, that's just horrifying. But we've now learned through the help of Senator Tina Smith that Liam and his dad are in San Antonio, Texas at the Dilley facility. Any people that remembered the children in cages from 8 years ago, that's where the government holds family units. We know that detaining children and families is wrong. Immigration violations are civil in nature, and so how can you justify incarcerating a child because of a civil violation, which again is not even accurate here because they entered lawfully through the CBP-1 program. And this family was not eluding ICE in any way. They were following all the established protocols, pursuing their claim for asylum, showing up for their court hearings, and posed no safety, no flight risk, and never should have been detained.
Liam and his father arrived in the United States from Ecuador in December 2024, seeking asylum. His family settled in Columbia Heights, where Liam enrolled in school. They filed for asylum claim and were allowed to remain in the United States legally while their case was pending. Let's continue to listen to this final question.
One is, I wanted to just put in your ear, I don't know if you heard this, what J.D. Vance said and the way he described what happened with this family. He said that he went and looked up and researched what happened. He said, what I found was that a 5-year-old was not arrested, that his dad was an illegal alien, and then they went to arrest his illegal alien father, and the father ran. So the story is that ICE detained a 5-year-old. Well, what were they supposed to do? Are they supposed to let a 5-year-old child freeze to death? That's how he describes what happened. What do you think of that?
Well, first of all, what I'll do is we'll tag team on this answer. So I will answer that, as I said, these are not illegal aliens. They came properly, they came legally and are pursuing a legal pathway. So that's just not accurate. As far as what actually happened, I'll turn it over to Mary.
Yeah. So I was on my way to get my own children from school, and I heard the commotion and saw all the people. And as I got out of my car and came around the...
Okay, as you just listened to what his lawyer, Liam's lawyers just mentioned, Liam and his father, they did not enter the United States as undocumented people. They were not in any way breaking any single law. This is not about apprehending and processing criminals or undocumented people. What ICE is doing is indiscriminately taking people, whether they are U.S. citizens and documented aliens alike, just for the way they look or their accents, and that is illegal. If you like the content, comment below and do not forget to subscribe and share.